Hi everyone, this is Nareen Saifat MS. I am Nareen and it's time for Super Sunday. So, this Super Sunday, I just wanted to talk about something that probably does make your life super as it does mine, and that is uh, what I can only call our most comfortable clothing, right? I'm definitely wearing one of my favorite t shirts, right? You can probably tell because it's very faded, but essentially we all have that one t-shirt or that one outfit that we tend to wear when we don't exactly feel very when we want to feel a little extra special, right? Want to feel a little extra comfort. And I got to the point of comfort when yesterday I did have guests over, and one thing that they were mentioning was, how do I feel comfortable bathing with cold water, especially now that it is a little colder over here. In the mornings it does get down to 15 degrees Celsius or a little lower. It's not very cold, but it's definitely cooler than normal temperatures here. And as a result, people usually would question me as to how I'm okay with bathing with cold water. And the only thing I could tell them was that it's temporary, and then once it passes, you dry up, and then you get to put on something that you might like. But it's usually during the times when it's probably cold when you actually want to wear something that definitely does make you feel a lot more comfortable. And so, as you can see, I am wearing my uh, the t-shirt I find the most comfortable. And this does come and I do know that considering I've had this for, I want to say, close to 6 or 7 years. And regardless of how tattered this might get, how many holes this t-shirt might have, I'll still probably continue to wear it, just because it's one of those things that I definitely do think of as a very comfortable thing. And funny thing, my sister also owned um, a t-shirt that looked exactly like this. Actually, it was an older version of this t-shirt, and it got to the point of pretty much looking a little more tattered, looking a lot more tattered than this version right here. But she would continuously wear it, and I definitely, knowing that she also likes it, she also finds a lot of comfort in you know this t-shirt, this specific t-shirt. I also decided to get one at a later date, just because I know that I will find that same level of comfort, right? Especially when especially at times when I do feel like I need that little extra bit of comfort. So that pretty much covers the one thing I wanted to talk about, which was comfort in a Super Sunday, right? Comfort is, of course, that one thing that not only do I pretty much preach to everyone in terms of making enough space for, you know, everyone to be able to, contribute and converse, and of course have, that ability to interact with everyone comfortably. But of course there is other parts of comfort where when you're on your own, when you're by yourself, what is one level of comfort? And I think obviously whatever you put on your back does have to have that element of comfort as well. So yeah, so that's why I decided to not only wear my favorite, most comfortable t-shirt, but also discuss other parts of comfort besides just building that comfortable environment for everyone, um, so that so that any sort of group, any sort of community, society that you're a part of, you can keep it as inclusive as possible. So two parts of you know um, the messaging I wanted to give, which was comfort. Of course, you are building comfort for everyone, everywhere, right? You want to be inclusive of as many people as possible, regardless of you know um, what kind of um, you know um, how how you might have differing views compared to each other. But despite that, you do want to make sure that they also feel like they are contributing, and on top of that, more so than that, that they also feel like they are part of the larger group. And of course, when you look at it more internally, right, when you try to look for comfort internally as one person, because at the end of the day, there is always there will come a time where you are by yourself, or that you are alone with your thoughts. You sometimes do need that level of comfort, and that does come from what we tend to wear. So with that being said, do share with me your favorite piece of clothing that is the most comfortable for you, and how often you wear that. And not only how often, but how does whatever you wear, or whatever your favorite outfit is, does that also show its age, because it's been a while, or you wear it very often, or it's probably seen the inside of a washing machine very often. So do share that information. Do share your insights, your inputs. What for you ends up being that part of comfort, right? What for you does end up being do you go to when you kind of feel like you want a little extra comfort in your life, right? Sometimes it's not even the clothes, maybe sometimes it's food. um, you know I definitely know that I find a lot of comfort in sugar. And you know I think that shows. But of course, you know we always try to find the one thing that does make us feel a little more comfortable, especially when the weather is on the colder side, when comfort becomes a little harder to come by. So yes, do share all of that, and of course, do provide your insights, do give in your inputs, share your experiences, so that we can get the conversation started. And with that said, I hope you had a great weekend. And for all of you that are probably starting their vacations, or their winter vacations, winter holidays, um, very happy holidays to you. And with that said, thank you so much for listening in. Good night and bye.